Hey, what's up, Wine Angels? Alina here, and I want to do a training to show you how I track people using Google Streaks and how I implement the 7Ps into my tracking system. Also, I want to show you what my daily activities are. So let me share my screen and get right into it. So here you'll see my daily list. In the morning, what I like to do is I like to review my calendar, set my alarm so I'm not missing the calls that I have scheduled for that day. I also review my team and placement so I know that if I've sponsored someone recently that I need to go look at my volume to see where I need to have that next person that I'm going to sponsor on what leg they should be in. So that way I'm maximizing my income every possible chance I get. I also get into personal development, whether that's 10 minutes, 30 minutes, whatever. I try to get it in because that is what sets the mindset for the day. And it's so crucial for your success to have the right mindset as you're talking to your prospects. So during my business hours, and sometimes I don't necessarily have a business hour in the sense of where I have 2 to 3 hours in one chunk at a time. Sometimes it might be where I'm working part of this list during my lunch, and then I'll work the next part of it when my child is sleeping at night. So what I would recommend with business hours real quick is to do them week by week, because sometimes our week changes. So you want to look at what do you have coming up for that coming week and look to see where you can fit in a little bit of work time if you cannot get in at least 1 hour or 2 hours of chunk of a, 1 or 2 hours together where you can work your business. So here, the very first thing that is always on my list is respond to messages. The reason why I have that as the first item is because however I ended up my night, I want to start that off because these are the people that are hot. These are the people that I'm talking to, having conversations with. I don't want to leave them to start new conversations and then maybe forget about them later. I want to take care of those conversations, keep nurturing them, keep working them through my funnel. And then I want to follow up with people because, again, these are hot people. These are people that I've sent the video to. So I want to make sure that I'm following up with them. Following up is, the fortune is in the follow-up, is what they say. So you want to make sure that you're not just starting new conversations, but you're responding to them and you're following up. So 2 crucial things that you should do every time you start your business hours is respond to your messages and do follow-ups. And of course, you have to constantly be looking for new people. You can't just depend on your warm market. You have to go out there and look for new people, which it would be considered your cold market, people that you absolutely do not know, but can become your warm market. So you want to add new friends. One of the things that I do is I go into Facebook, and what I've done recently is I've done a search for women who love or who like Lushy Wino. That is a Facebook page out there. And the reason why I selected that was because it has a big following. And I know that all those people who have liked that page like wine. And those are the people that I want to talk to. Instead of me just trying to go into the people you may know, some of those people may not like wine. So it's kind of wasting time in a sense if I go into somebody that doesn't like wine, rather if I'm looking for people that I know love wine. Now, you may not want to go ahead and do that search and start adding friends to those because I am tapping into that market. So you may come across where you're talking to someone and they're going to say, oh yeah, I've already talked to someone about that, or I'm thinking about joining, or no, this is the 4th time somebody contacts me about that. Go out there and look to see what wine pages are out there that have a big following, and then do a search, whether it's just people who like so-and-so, whatever the page name is, or women, if that is your market and you're only working with women, then do women who like whatever the page name is. That'll give you a list of people who like that page. Then you can kind of look through that list and then go friend requesting people. Now, one of the things that that's of a concern sometimes is you're inviting these people into your personal profile. What you can do is you can create a Facebook list, and as you send that new friend request, you want to put them into that list. That way, when you post things about your family or something, or your kids, and you don't want these people that you don't really know seeing it, you can always exclude them from that post. All right, so start new conversations. And I'll show you how I use this with Google Streak, but normally what I do is I will get a notification that someone has accepted my friend request. So in my Google Streak, I actually have a column where I use tags, and in there I say send hi message. And they're still in my added friend phase, but I'll show you that in just a second. So I start new conversations with people. And then I'll check in with reps. Now the ones on the left are the ones that I definitely do daily. Sometimes I'm pressed for times and I may not be able to check in with my reps. And honestly, I want to work with the reps that are wanting to work this business. People who are communicating with me, I will communicate with them. But I'm not talking about checking in with reps that I haven't heard from in like 2 or 3 weeks. I want to use my time effectively, and I want to work with those who want to run with me. And then I'll check in with groups. So for example, we have our Wine and Wealth group community where I post in there. So sometimes I'll check in there. I'll check in, all the other wine groups that we're in as well. Team recognition, give some recognition for that. I want to start trying to do that on a daily basis as I see things occurring rather than trying to do it on Sundays. I've gotten a little bit away from that, so I apologize. I need to start doing that again. And then I also check with my club members, see how their wines are doing, trying to get some feedback from them so I can share it in our Wine and Wealth community group. And then the extra stuff is the studying and planning. So I do attend the Monday motivation call at 11 o'clock from Austin Zuloff every Monday. Didn't make it a point to be on that call. I also do the Tuesday night training call, which is at 8:30 on Tuesday. And I do the Wednesday night Wine Warrior team call as well. Those are like my 3 I will be on no matter what. And then, if I want to do Facebook ads, a quick note about that. If you're not a master seller, I would stay away from Facebook like pages. I would stay away from Facebook ads, stay away from the wine funnel thing. Any shiny object like that, stay away from it. You want to focus on the very basics so you're not overwhelmed with trying to do so many things and trying to expand your market so quickly in so many different ways that you get overwhelmed. Stay with the basics with what I've showed you of what I do in the business hours. The only reason why that Facebook ads thing is in there is because I am a master seller, so sometimes I do plan Facebook ads. And then I have professional development in there. What that is training to improve my craft, how to talk to people. So right now I'm doing a training on magic words to use when you're talking about your business and or your product, which our product is simple and it's wine. And then SM Post is social media posts and events to make sure that I'm promoting those. And then I'm planning some social media posts as well. Those are extra things that I do. What I focus on is mainly what I have on business hours. And honestly, it's the most of what I focus on is what is on the left. Sometimes I'm pressed for time. I still work a full-time job. I have a family, so I need to make sure that I'm giving them quality time. So I try to get my core activities in, which is to respond to messages, follow-ups, add new friends, start new conversations. If I have a little bit of time, I'll respond to the messages that day. If not, I'm responding to them the next day. All right, so the next thing that I want to show you is Google Streak. So if you have Gmail, this is great. It's a free tool that you can use. All you have to do is go to www.streak.com, and you can see it up here how it's spelled, and just go to Streak installed. Mine says Streak installed because I already have it installed, but you can click download on here or whatever it might say, but you'll see a big button where you can download it. All right, so let me show you what mine looks like. Now, this is something that I created because you can create this however you want. Now, Streak is a CRM, which is a customer relationship management system, and this is where you do all your tracking. You may notice that some of these sound familiar to our 7 Ps. And I'll go over really quick how I use this. So my very first phase in here is to prospect, people to prospects. And the people that I put in there are the people that I kind of think about, oh, I need to prospect them, but I don't have the time right now to send them a quick message, so I'm just going to write their name down. And by the way, there's also a Google Streak app that you can put on your phone, so you don't have to just solely use this on your computer. So I will add the people in there. So here, for example, I put John Doe to prospect. One of the things that I really like about Google Streak is it'll tell you days and stage. This is what's called a magic field in Google Streak, and it'll tell you how long a person has been in this particular to prospect stage. So once they've been here for a while, as you're reviewing this list, you know that you want to get that person out of there into the next phase, which in this case would be started conversation. And then I have a field for the last time that I contacted this person. So when was the last time that me and that person, or that I sent a message to this person? Did we talk wine? Sometimes I get into so much forming that we may not actually talk wine. So I got to remember, oh, we haven't talked wine yet. So I have to drop it in here at some point. And it's just just a little mental note for me. So notes is what I like to put in here is more about notes on our conversation. And then I have about them. So this tells me, are they an It Works representative, Beachbody coach, or they don't have any network marketing experience? Are they a mom? Do they have 3 kids? Divorced, married, all that kind of stuff is what I put in there. Here, the sent the video on, this is actually a date field. So whenever I send someone the video, once I get into that phase in the 7 Ps, then I go ahead and put the date in here. So I know when was it that I actually sent them the video rather than just saying yes or no, which doesn't give me enough information. This just tells me the date that I last followed up with them, how many total follow-ups. One of the things that they say in network marketing is the fortune is in the follow-up. But it also takes 5 to 12 exposures before somebody will actually buy your product or join your business. So I have this total follow-ups in here so that I can get myself to get to at least 5 follow-ups with these people before I'm kind of like, hey, do you want me to take you off the list? Here is where I schedule my next follow-ups, but I also do this in a different way because what I like to do is I use Outlook. I use Outlook Calendar, and if you use Gmail Calendar, whatever it is that you use, what I do is as soon as I send someone a video, then I will go into my calendar and I will schedule a follow-up for the next day. And I'll show you a quick example here. Let me switch this over here. So like here I have a follow-up at 1 p.m. during my lunchtime. So what I do is I'll do a follow-up, and then here are some names of the people that I'm going to be following up with, and I just put that in the notes section. So that's how I make sure that I'm following up with people. You can do it that way, or you can just do next follow-up and then sort this field to see who is your next follow-up. You can keep track of it that way. I truly recommend putting it as part of your calendar to make sure it gets done. Here in tags and tasks, this is where I use, tags basically to, okay, oh good, it did bring it over. Okay, so here, I can tag people if they're in Canada, if I'm talking to them and they're pregnant, if I've offered the club membership to them. I like to send this good morning image thing for them just to kind of keep conversation going. This is someone that I've added and I'm just not necessarily feeling. They're kind of cool, but maybe when I max out, this might be a person that I might question, do I want to keep them in my friends list or not? And maxed out would be like 5,000 friends because that's all Facebook allows you to have. I also tag people if they're local, whether I should invite them to a wine tasting. Maybe we had some conversation and they said, yes, definitely invite me to your next one. I'll tag them with this. That way when I have an event, I can go and I can invite them. If they've accepted my friend request, send them a hi message. I don't think I use accept friend request anymore, but I do put send hi message. So I have a couple of different, get on an op call, get a bunch of different tags that you can use. You get the idea. And then the date, of last email. I don't necessarily use my Gmail for that because I have an Outlook account. So I have my, Wine with Pace email account that I use. So I don't necessarily use this field, and I actually need to hide it. Okay, there we go. So if you ever need to hide any kind of fields that are in the CRM, you can just go on that little drop down arrow and then select hide, and that'll take care of it for you. Okay, so state. I put the state in here because there are some states that we do not ship to. So this is kind of a reminder as I'm talking to people, if they're in a state that we do not currently ship to, then I know to kind of back off a little bit from them or let them know we don't ship there and, let them know what's going on with their state, but also let them know it's temporary. So it's something that maybe they can join later. Some people don't feel comfortable, running a business if they can't receive the wine themselves. That's just how they are, and that's fine. Totally respect that. And other people are like, I don't even care. I don't need to do the wine. I think this business is great. I don't care if I'm in a no shipping state. I'll just ship my wine to other people and be done with that. And they totally get the business aspect of it. But I use this also for wine tastings because I have people in our Wine and Wealth community. So if I see an event that's in California, I might go in here and look to see who's in California. And this really should be city and state because I do put in the city for my people as well. And then whether I've invited them to an event or not, I'll just put a yes or no field on here and some notes to see, okay, I've invited them to 2 events and they haven't even come. So I probably won't invite them to the next one. And then whether I asked a referral for them. So this is here just to kind of help me as to getting into that habit of asking for a referral once they tell me, no, I'm not going to do your business, or no, I'm not going to become a club member right now. I can ask them, well, do you know anybody that would be interested if I showed them step-by-step how to do it? Or do you know anybody who likes wine that would like to get it received, delivered to their door? So that's just there as a reminder for me. And then the last one here is also, anytime you see these little star-looking things, that means that it's a magic field. So then this is the date that you actually create this box. So anytime you add something for someone, so these right here are called a box. So you can do a new box. So here I can do Wine Fairy or something. And then you'll see, and I like to hide the stage because obviously I know what stage I'm in because it tells me nice and clear right here. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about how I do this into the 7 Ps. So part of my daily activities is I follow up with people. I'm responding to messages, following up with people, and then I'm adding new friends. So as I add people, I add them here. I do the new box, and I'm like, new friend, and I add their name. If I saw anything in their profile, I'll put here about them. So if I saw that maybe they were a Beachbody coach, or It Works, or Limelight, or LipSense, or anything out there about them, I'll go ahead and add it here. So we'll just, for the sake here, put Beachbody coach or something. And then I'll just kind of wait. What I like about this is days in stage. So after about 7 days of this person being here and not accepting my friend request, I will go ahead and first check to make sure that I didn't miss the notification or something. So I'll look up their name. If I don't have an add friend button, or if it still says friend request sent, I'll just go in here, delete it, and I'll cancel my friend request, because you don't want to have too many pending friend requests, because then you may get into Facebook jail. So my process is that after 7 days, if they're not my friends, then I'll go ahead and knock them off my list. And I may friend them later at some point, who knows. But for the sake of having pending friend requests, I'm trying to minimize that as much as possible. And you can do 5 days, because honestly, I don't want somebody staying in here for about 14 days or something like that, or even longer, because then they're not on social media that often, more than likely. And I want people to mainly build their business on social media. Obviously, you don't have to build your business on social media. You can do it face-to-face and a combination of both. But you really can expand your audience by doing it on social media. So if this person is not being quick about responding to my friend request, and more than likely they're not on social media a whole lot, and if they don't already have that habit, it's going to be hard for them to do that once they start a business. So I knock them off after 7 days. And then what I'll do is, when I get my friend request, once they tell me that, once I get the notification that says, oh, so-and-so has gotten your friend request. Oh, one of the things I do here. So you saw how I scrolled to the right and then I lost the person's name? Yeah, because I have a lot of fields. So what you can do is do this little arrow right here until it freeze. And that way when you scroll, you keep the person's name. All right, so this new friend accepted my friend request, so I'm gonna add a tag, and my tag that I like to use is send hi message. And that, I do that as soon as I see in Facebook that the notification, got in. And then I might wait a day, maybe two, before I send them a message, but I'll go into their profile, maybe like their profile picture or something that they've shared recently, just to kind of, start having some interaction with them of some sort. And then a day after, I'll send them a message that says, hey, so-and-so, so nice to meet you. Thank you for accepting my friend request. I'll give them a compliment. Maybe they have a beautiful cover photo or a beautiful picture, or they're gorgeous or something. I'll give them a compliment, and then I'll let them know, love connecting with new people. What do you do? If there's something in their profile that gives me an idea of what they do, I might tell them, oh, I see that you are an It Works distributor. What got you into that? Or how long have you been with them? Or just some sort of question to start conversation. And then once I start conversation with them, I will go into their box in the way that you do it. So this new friend here, I had a conversation with them, and now I'm going to send them over to my next phase, which is I started the conversation. And then I will go into my last contact date. So we had our conversation today. We haven't talked wine yet, so I don't put anything. They're a Beachbody coach. I haven't sent them the video. I didn't do follow-ups, any of that stuff, but I did send them a hi message. So now I get rid of that. My next stage with them is I will send them a good morning image. And I just put that as a reminder later, because if I start having a conversation with this person and at some point it kind of stops because they don't respond back to me, a few days later, I'll send them an image that, says, hope you have a wonderful day, or something like that. Just to kind of get them thinking about me again, if you will. And then what I'll do is I'll just, go hit that back arrow. And now what it's done is it brought my new friend. Did it not? Did I not change it? I think when I clicked it, it never actually went anywhere. There we go. Start a conversation. And when you change this, you'll notice that this changed here. All right, so now this person is in my started conversation. And all of these, by the way, they're not expanded. Yeah, they are. Okay, so start a conversation with them. So now I've sent them a message. When they send me a message back, give me some information about them. I will add more notes in here, or I'll add notes here. It depends if they made a comment about something, like maybe if I asked them, how did you get started with that or something, and it shows, they tell me about a need or something that they had, a reason why they started a business like they did, I'll put it in here as a note, because then it's something that I can maybe use for later, or if they tell me, what they actually do, I'll write it here. Anything that's specific to them is in about them, and anything that they say during our conversation that I may need to take a note of, I write it here in notes. So once they respond back to me, then I come here and I do the getting to know. Now I'm getting to know this person. And, again, I'll write notes, or I'll write in something about them. All right, so we're getting to know them. And now they've asked me, what do you do? So now I'm prospecting. As soon as they ask me that question, I let them know what I do. So I may say something like, I own a wine tasting business. I offer club memberships so people can get wines delivered directly to their door with 100% satisfaction guarantee. I also help others build and grow, or start and grow their own wine business so they can be financially secure and contribute to their family's income, or something like that. Depending on who I'm talking to is how I will word it. And then I may say, do you know anybody who likes wine? As soon as they say yes, I've gotten into that peak stage, right? So this is all 7 Ps stuff. Once I told them what I do, and once I asked them, do you know anybody who likes wine? Right there, I've already started prospecting. And then once they say yes, I've piqued their interest. Or if they say, ooh, tell me more, or something about that, I have piqued their interest, so I might switch them into peak. Now, the conversation may go so fast that I might just switch them over from posture over to point, where I've sent them a video. Because if they say, tell me more about that, I may say, oh, you know, if it's nighttime, oh, I'm about to put my little girl to bed and I'm kind of tired, so I'm going to go to bed too. If I sent you a video that explains my business, would you watch it? And if they say yes, I'll say, here's the video that explains, you know, what I do. Get back with me once you watch it. And then I'll take them here. So I'll go into that little box looking thing and I'll change the stage so I know where they're at. And yes, this kind of takes some work, but you know exactly where people are. And like, I work off 2 monitors, so I always have my Google Streak on one side and then my Messenger on the other side from Facebook. So it's kind of easy for me. So if you have one screen, it might be a little bit more difficult, but it is so worth that you track all this so you know exactly where people are. You're a business owner, you want to make sure that you track everybody that you talk to, when you're talking to them, all that kind of stuff. And again, there is a Google Streak app that you can use on your phone if you're not at your computer. I try to do this on my computer as much as possible though. It's just easier for me that way. All right, so once I sent them the video, then my next step here is to go sent video on. I sent them on the 10th. And then I'll come over here into my calendar and I'll say, okay, today's the 10th. So, oh, I got some follow-ups already there for tomorrow. I like to make these yellow. All right, so, you know, at 9 p.m. tomorrow, I'm doing a follow-up. So I'll just double click on that. And in the notes, I'll write the name of the person that I'm following up with. And then I'll make a quick note, watch video. Because there's other times where I'm following up about, you know, other things or something. So, all right, so they watch the video, and then most of the time, to be honest, people don't get right back with you. So you actually are the one to follow up with them, and then I'll follow up with them, and I'll be like, hey, did you get a moment to watch the video? If they say yes, then I get into where I say, okay, great. Tell me what you like most, or would you like to hop on the phone so that we can so I can help you get all your questions answered. And that's how you get into the pass, the 3-way call or 3-way chat. Now, if it's somebody, if you feel confident, you can do your own calls. You don't always have to pass them on to your upline to be on a 3-way call as well. You can totally do your own calls if you're confident. If you don't feel confident, then you can do that 3-way call and just let them know, you know, check with your upline to see what times are available for them. And then they can, you know, they'll give you 2 times or whatever day and time that you can do it. You pass that back to your prospect and ask them when they can be on, and say, you know, I'll also have my friend who has been in the business for quite a while, and you can give some, you know, explanation of the person that they're going to be on the phone with as well. But I want to make sure you get all your questions answered, so I'm going to have them on the phone as well. The other thing you can do is a chat instead of a call. However, when you have people on the phone, the conversation tends to continue. Like, there always has to be some sort of endpoint where that means that they're ready to begin, or even they're ready for you to schedule the next exposure for them. So, you know, that's the 3-way pass right there. And then after that point, you know kind of where they're at. Are they going to be pending a club membership? Are they going to be pending rep sign up? What are they doing? And then after that, the next phase would be to send them a welcome email, whether they become a club member, they become a rep. And then this promote, recognize, that's just to add them to the Facebook page, to the Facebook group, and introduce them and that kind of stuff if they're a rep. And then you have your phases where it's also people tell you no, not right now. And then you have people that you talk to that no alcohol. I certainly back off whenever someone tells me I'm trying to not drink, or I quit drinking, or whatever. I'm not messing with that person. I don't care if it's a business, even if we have people that don't really drink. But I think a lot of people that say, you know, I'm trying to quit or whatever, it's because they might have a problem. And I'm not going to be that person that pushes it on them for the sake of me earning $250 or $125. I don't want to make that person's problem worse. So no alcohol is, I am never contacting them again. They can contact me. So that's who I put in there. So that's how I use Google Streak and just take people through phases. So another thing to note is the daily list that I showed you, where I'm responding to messages, following up, adding new friends, starting new conversations. That's my Monday through Friday thing. And then on Saturdays, if I continue to do this every single day, then I'm going to be forgetting people that I have in some of these phases. So what I want to do is I want to come in here and see, okay, how long has this person been in this phase? So if I've had somebody that's in my, let's see, in my video, where I pointed them to, where I sent the video to, if they've been there for like 10 days, oh my gosh, I need to get this person moving down. I need to get them on a 3-way call. I need to start answering their questions. I need to get them moving. If I had somebody here and start a conversation and they've been there for like 5 days, they're not responding, I need to try to reach out to them again, get them moving down my phases. So on Saturday and Sunday, that's mainly what I focus on. I still respond to messages and things, but I kind of take a break on adding new friends unless I have a lot of time, and starting the new conversations. Mine is more follow-up and trying to move people through the funnel or through the stages. And then on Sundays, I do the same thing, but I'm planning out my week of when am I doing the follow-ups during these days? When am I available for 3-way calls? That kind of stuff is what I do on Sundays. So that is about it. I hope that this was very helpful for you. I know that some of you like to do tracking on paper. I am a computer person, so I really love having everything automated on a computer. It's easy to search, all that kind of stuff. Oh, and really quick, sorry. So Days and Stage you can do here where you can sort lowest to highest and sort highest to lowest. That way you can see, where, what people, you group the people that have been there the longest. And I actually try to work from people that I have pending rep sign up is the first place I will start looking to try to get them to sign up. Next I'll go into my club members, then I'll go into my past 3-way. So I work from the bottom up to get people down, because the people at the bottom are the hottest and the people at the top are going to be the coldest. So I want to make sure that I'm working with the hottest people first, to get them moving through. So again, if you do this on paper and you have a good system that you use, I'd love for you to share this with the team, because I'm sure that there's other people that really like a paper system. So anyway, that's all I've got for you guys. If you have any questions, just comment or post it in our group page, and I'll be happy to answer them for you. I hope this is extremely helpful for you, and I hope it helps you stay organized and build an incredibly large business. All right, have a wonderful night, you guys. Love ya.